Jesus, come today for a poor, poor man like me. Salvation come my way, my soul set free. Jesus come for all, and we must hear his call. Open up your heart today and let it be. No matter if you're thief, or if you're dread, or if you have a crown upon your head. No matter if you have no heart at all, Jesus bring love for one and all. Sing it, children. I for Jesus, you for Jesus, all for Jesus, fall for Jesus. Come to Jesus, Jesus come for one, he come for all. Jesus come for I, see manger where he lie, see cross where he must die, for a wretch like me. For God so loved the world, man, woman, boy, and girl, he gave his son for you, his son for me. No matter if you're thief, or if you're dread, or if you have a crown on your head. No matter if you have no heart at all, Jesus bring love for one and all. Sing it, children. I for Jesus, you for Jesus, all for Jesus, fall for Jesus. Come to Jesus, Jesus come for one, he come for all. Jesus Christ today, the same as yesterday, the one, the only way, the King for me. Let it come to pass, mankind find love at last, just as it was time past, so let it be. No matter if you're thief, or if you're dread, or if you have a crown on your head. No matter if you have no heart at all, Jesus bring love for one and all. Sing it, children. I for Jesus, you for Jesus, all for Jesus, fall for Jesus. Come to Jesus, Jesus come for one, he come for all. Sing it, children. I for Jesus, you for Jesus, all for Jesus, fall for Jesus. Come to Jesus, Jesus come for one, he come for all. Sing it, children. I for Jesus, you for Jesus, all for Jesus, fall for Jesus. Come to Jesus, Jesus come for one.
You're listening to South Florida's #1 community radio, 95.9 FM. 95.9 FM. W Big Station.
You got it locked to 95.9 W Big Station. WBigStation.net.
Johnson & Johnson fined $572 million. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A judge in Oklahoma has ruled drug maker Johnson & Johnson must pay $572 million for its part in fueling America's opioid painkiller addiction crisis. The company said immediately after the judgment that it would appeal. The case was the first to go to trial out of thousands of lawsuits filed against opioid makers and distributors. Earlier this year, Oklahoma settled with OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma for $270 million and Teva Pharmaceuticals for $85 million, leaving Johnson & Johnson as the lone defendant. Judge Todd Balkman said prosecutors had demonstrated that Johnson & Johnson contributed to a public nuisance in its deceptive promotion of highly addictive prescription painkillers. He said the payment would be used to treat opioid addicts. Despite efforts by the Jamaican authorities to stem the flow of illegal firearms from the United States, a security expert believes the problem will continue unless the U.S. government implements tighter gun control measures. Ian Roberts, treasurer for the Jamaica chapter of the American Society for Industrial Security, says the issue of illegal guns entering Jamaica is best dealt with at the source. He said Jamaica is limited in its resources as it relates to the security forces and their capabilities and abilities, and so think if they can plug the source, they can always mop up the back end of the recipient on this side. They can detect anything coming from the US, so at the same token, are the same means they should be able to detect what's leaving the U.S., especially firearms that are manufactured in the U.S. It shouldn't be untraceable, he added. He said the U.S. is just not doing anything to prevent illegal guns to be shipped to Jamaica. And up to Sunday, Jamaica had 889 murders since January 1st. The police high command said it is making progress in crime control in the communities covered by the state of emergency in the western parishes of Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James, and in the St. Andrews South Police Division in the corporate area. More than 30 illegal guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition have been seized since the SOEs were declared in the three western parishes in April and St. Andrews South in July. Data shows that 22 illegal guns and 3,681 rounds of ammunition have been seized by the security forces in St. James since April. In Westmoreland, 12 illegal guns and 52 rounds of ammunition have been seized and 5 wanted persons arrested since the state of emergency was imposed. The data also shows that a total of 30 illegal guns and 334 rounds of ammunition have been seized in the parish since January, while in Hanover, 2 illegal firearms and 3 rounds of ammunition have been seized. A total of 1,365 persons were detained and processed in the 3 parishes. In the St. Andrews South Division, 7 illegal firearms and 107 rounds of ammunition have been seized, while 953 persons were processed and 46 of them detained. Meanwhile, 2 Jamaicans were among 4 men who appeared in a magistrate's court in St. George's, Grenada on Monday, charged in connection with a multi-million-dollar drug bust. The Jamaicans' 47-year-old farmer, Alric Reynolds, and 53-year-old Ian White, along with 46-year-old Grenadian businessman Bernard Spann and 47-year-old Elvis Chance of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, appeared at the St. George's No. 1 Magistrate Court, charged with conspiracy to trafficking a controlled drug. Additional charges of trafficking controlling drugs were laid against Reynolds, Chance, while White and Spann were charged with possession of a controlled drug. The court heard that the 4 men were arrested after allegedly being found with 40 kilograms of cocaine during a police operation last Wednesday night in St. George's. The police said the drugs had a street value of $4 million. Meanwhile, with back-to-back school shopping now in high gear, the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation branch CTOX is reporting an increase in the sale of counterfeit goods. Assistant Superintendent Victor Bennett, head of the Intellectual Property Unit at CTOC, is urging persons to be on the lookout for fake brands. He said the police will be ramping up efforts against the illicit trade. CTOC on Monday made another major seizure of counterfeit goods at a store in Spanish Town in St. Catherine. Several counterfeit shoes valued at $20 million were seized. Meanwhile, a hurricane watch is in effect for St. Lucia, where the government has announced a shutdown of the country as it braces for the impact of Tropical Storm Dorian. Meanwhile, a tropical storm warning is also in effect for Barbados, Martinique, as well as St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A tropical storm watch is in effect for Dominica, Grenada, and its dependencies Saba and St. Eustatius, as well as Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, Dorian is moving towards the west-northwest at about 14 miles per hour and seems like it's going to be tipping someplace close to Florida in about a week. Anyway, in what seems like a tragic movie scene, a teenager who stabbed a female bar owner during a dispute in downtown Montego Bay, St. James last Wednesday night was disarmed of his firearm and stabbed to death by the woman whom he had attacked. The deceased man has been identified as 19-year-old Aishan Roswell of 2nd Avenue Flanker in Montego Bay. The injured bar owner was treated and released from hospital after sustaining stab wounds to her head. The dramatic events began to unfold when Roswell went to the bar on Union Street in the city and during an argument with the bar owner's daughter, who probably is his girlfriend and who was the bartender at the time, reportedly hit her with a bottle before fleeing the scene. The conflict worsened when Roswell returned to the bar, where another of the owner's daughter confronted him about having hit her sister. An altercation developed between both of them, and Roswell reportedly kicked the second sister in the region of her neck. The female bar owner is said to have seen what happened and intervened in the dispute. Roswell then allegedly pulled a knife and inflicted injury to the woman's head. During a tussle, The woman's bar owner managed to overpower Roswell and then reportedly used his own knife to stab him in the upper body. Roswell ran from the scene but collapsed along the roadway. The police were then alerted and both injured persons were taken to hospital where Roswell was pronounced dead. The bar owner underwent treatment for her injuries and was later discharged. You're listening to Undiluted News. We're going to take a break, come back with sports. Welcome back to News and Sports on your favorite community radio. Bad news for Jamaica. Jamaica's track and field program is again under the microscope following reports that the A sample of a Jamaican sprinter has returned an adverse analytical finding for a banned diuretic. Well-placed sources have indicated that the athlete who was denied any wrongdoing was tested by officers from the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission at the National Senior Championship, which took place at the National Stadium between June 20 and 23. According to our information, the substance was contained in an over-the-counter cold and flu medication, Pharma Cold and Flu. Importantly, it has been informed that the athlete did in fact declare the medication on their anti-doping form during the testing process at the National Senior Championship. However, on July 25th, the athlete who has qualified to represent the country at the IAAF World Championship in Doha in Qatar next month was informed by JADCO that his A sample had returned a positive result. The athlete then requested at the beginning of August that their B sample be tested as well. The original test was carried out at the World Anti-Doping Agency accredited lab in Montreal in Canada. The sprinter was then given a 10-day deadline to explain the presence of the banned diuretic in their sample. And of course, we now know that if you take cold medication, that can turn up as a drug when you're an athlete, and usually that's gonna be a 2-year ban. Noah Lyle of the United States set a meet record for the 200 meters by clocking 19.65 seconds at the Diamond League in Paris on Saturday. The 22-year-old Lyle, who set a year-leading mark of 19.5 last month in Lausanne, broke Usain Bolt's record time of 19.73 from 2013. Lyle, nearly a half-second ahead of Turkey's Ramil Goliviev in 20.01, will be hard to beat at the upcoming World Championship that begins in Doha, Qatar on September 27. So will defending 400 meters hurdler world champion Karsten Warmhol of Norway. He clocked 47.26 to beat Frenchman Lode Valiant by 1 second, and over the weekend as well. Sprinter Christian Coleman, he faces a September 4 hearing at which he'll try to avoid a doping suspension after allegations he failed to provide authorities with his whereabouts so he could be tested for performance enhancers. Both Coleman and the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency released statements on Saturday regarding the case. USADA said Coleman could be subject to a violation for 3 failures to provide his whereabouts over a 12-month period. Coleman, the U.S. national champion at 100 meters, said what has been widely reported concerning filing violations is simply not true, and he expects to be cleared. World Championship starts September 28 in Qatar, and Coleman would bring the year's fastest time, 9.81 seconds, to that meet. Athletes are required to give authorities their whereabouts information so they can be tested without notice outside of competition. USADA said Coleman's case has been put on a fast track. Meanwhile, in cricket, captain Jason Holder has urged his batting group to undertake deep introspection in the wake of the West Indies' humiliating 318-run defeat to India in the opening test on Sunday. Set an improbable 419 runs for victory on the final day at the Vivian Richards Cricket Ground, the West Indies crumpled in quick time on a flat pitch for exactly 100, their 6th lowest total against India. Only number 9 batsman Kemar Roach, with a cavalier 31 ball 38 runs, showed any resistance, and he was just one of 3 batsmen in double figures. West Indies were ripped to shreds by the superb Jasprit Bumrah, who produced an exhibition of high-class swing bowling to finish with 5 wickets for 7 runs from 8 overs. And his new ball partner Ishant Sharma picked up 3 wickets for 31, while fellow pacer Mohammad Shami claimed 2 for 13. And in a torrid 45-ball period between tea, Bumrah sent back openers Craig Brathwaite, who made 1, John Campbell 7, before adding Darren Bravo for 2 to his list of casualties as the West Indies slumped to 15 for 5 at that interval. On to football. English Premier League, Crystal Palace recorded the biggest shock of the new Premier League season by winning away to Manchester United thanks to Patrick Van Aanholt's stoppage time gold. Roy Hodgson's men had taken only 1 point from their opening 2 games but triumphed 2-1 at Old Trafford, with Marcus Rashford missing the first penalty of his career. Chelsea also recorded their first victory under Frank Lampard by winning 3-2 away to Norwich City in the early game, with tabletopper Liverpool dismantling a weak defense of Arsenal, beating them 3-1. Meanwhile, Reggae Girls ace striker Khadija Bonishaw scored 2 goals Saturday in her debut with French club Girondins de Bordeaux. Shaw's goals in the 75th and the 98th minute helped to propel to a 4-1 win over FC Florin 91 in their Division Feminine season opener. The 22-year-old signed a 2-year contract with the French club in June prior to the FIFA Women's World Cup in France. The outstanding striker has bagged 31 goals in 24 career games for the Reggae Girls. Bordeaux, which placed 4th last season in the league, will next be in action against G-God on September 7th. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.
Yeah, to the person who has stated that they not turning back. Nah, no matter what the attack, this song is really dedicated to the person who has been going through, and they not turning back.
Brother Bungie, better than a lion.
Well, this song is for the person who has been left in the cold. This song is for your situation to take control. This song is for the tears that you cried in the night. This song is to give you hope that there will be some light. This song is for the person who is holding on. This song is to play loud while you're riding your storm. This song is for the believer who's believing on. This song is for the carpenter's children. Take all your hammer and nail it, yeah. And every problem we go nail it, yes. And every struggle I go nail it, hey. And every trial I go nail it, hey. But the extras I go nail it. If I can't pay my rent I go nail it. Every doctor bill I go nail it. And every nail it. Hoping for a job I go nail it. Every single thing I go nail it. Every single thing I go nail it. And every nail it to the cross. Carpenter children, nail it to the cross. Carpenter children.
I don't know why Jesus loved me. I don't know why he cared. I don't know why he sacrificed his life. Oh, but I'm glad.
Somebody lift your hands as we celebrate the greatness of our God. He's great and he's greatly to be praised. There's a worship song that says this: our God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. Come on, our God is awesome. He heals me when I'm broken. Gives strength where I've been weak. Forever he'll reign. Come on, say, my God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. He heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak. Forever he'll reign. Come on, if you believe it, lift your voice and sing. Think about it. Savior of the whole world. Giver of salvation. By his stripes, I'm healed. My God is awesome. Today I am forgiven. His grace is why I'm living. Somebody ought to praise his holy name. Come on and testify. You know he's awesome. Say it. Come on and lift your voice and say, awesome. Awesome. Come on and say awesome. Awesome. My God. My God is awesome. Come on and say awesome. Awesome. Come on, if you believe it, lift your voice. Awesome. Awesome. Come on, somebody say, he's mighty. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Come on and lift your voice and testify. Awesome. Come on and say, he's holy. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Come on and lift your voice and say, awesome. Come on and say, he's great. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Hallelujah. Come on and say, awesome. Come on and say, he's mighty. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Everybody say awesome. Awesome. Come on and say, deliverer. 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 Come on and say, awesome. Come on and lift your voice if you believe and say, awesome. Come on and say, he's holy. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Come on, everybody ought to testify. Awesome. Somebody lift your voice and say, provider. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Hallelujah. Lift your voice. Awesome. Somebody let hell know. Protector. Protector. Has he looked out for you? Protector. Awesome. Awesome. Everybody say awesome. Let's get out of here. My God. He can move mountains. Keep you in the valley. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. Heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. Hey, we make a miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That is who you are. Hey, we make a miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You wipe away all tears. You mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all. Jesus, you wipe away all tears. You mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all, to it all. Jesus, yeah. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every life. I worship you. Oh, shadadabakasa. I worship you. You are here, meeting every need. I worship you. I worship you. Ah, yes, God. Ooh, yes. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. Oh, Lord, yes. I was so empty. I needed someone who could take away the emptiness inside. I'll turn away when friends would tell me I should come to you and surrender all my life. My life was reckless till I obeyed them and find a church that I could go to set me free. It was at the altar I cried, Lord, save me. I felt the burden slowly lifting off my life. My life was lost without you. Every time I think I'm better, I am worse. Oh, dear Jesus, I need your help, Lord. Don't you ever turn away and let me fall. I look to always let me down. I remember you promised to never leave me. I'm depending on you, Lord, to hear my call. Lord, I love you. Lord, I need you. Oh, Lord, I need you in the middle of the night. Oh, I was lost without you. Now you'll never leave me. You're the one to fix the things that are not right. Sometimes I cry for your help when I have temptation hovering at my door. Oh, I wonder, where are you, Lord, when the devil seemed to knock me on the floor. Now I see, Lord, I've got the victory. I overcome because you came to rescue me. All I needed, Lord, was to call you, and you ran and came to set me free. Oh, Lord, I love you, Lord, 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 Lord. Lord, I need you, yes. Lord, I need you in the middle of the night. I was lost without you, yes. Now you never leave me. Oh, yes. You're the one to fix the things that are not right. Lord, I love you. Lord, 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 Lord. Lord, I need you. Yes, Lord. I need you in the middle of the night. I was so lost without you, yes. Now you never leave me. Oh, you're the one to fix the things that are not right. Oh, Lord, I love you, Lord. Lord, I love you. Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you.
It's an easy road, but by the grace of God, I know I'll make it. It's hard, and every day it gets harder. Oh, it's hard, and every day it gets harder. Nobody told me it was gonna be easy. Nobody told me it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. They only told me it's the best not to live, and Jesus loves me. So I got on board, and every day I am tempted with the things I used to love. And sometimes I falter, but He gives me strength to rise. Yeah,
Let me ask you a question. How many people did not write the program yet? Huh? Sister Patrice, did you write the program? Sister Ione, did you write the program yet? Sister Lynette, did you write the program yet? Sister Anif, did you write the program yet? Kimmy, did you press like on the program yet? Come on, everybody, did you like the program? If you did not, come on and go ahead and like the program, all right? Press your like button, hit your thumbs up button, like the program right about now, all right? Pleasant good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. What you mean, Kimmy, long time. Come on, people of God, how you doing? God is good all the time, my daddy is good. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. We're here to inform, we're here to educate, we're here to entertain, we're here to uplift, we're here to inspire, and we're here to do the master's work. After we don't come for jerk. Where's the Sister Leonie? We say you like that already, long time. No, you like that already. Come on, people of God. If you don't like the program, hit the thumbs up button right now. If your thumbs up button is showing you gray, that means you have not hit the thumbs up button yet. Make sure you like the program. Come on. Sister Cassandra, how you doing? Sister Una Lee, how you doing? Sister Anif, how you doing? Pleasant good evening to you. Good evening. Anybody seen Sister Beth? All right, Sister Lynette says she like it. Yeah, man, come on, I like that. Still some more people need to like the program. All right, come on, hit your like button. God is good all the time. My daddy is good. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him. The heaven and the earth adore him. What a mighty God. What an awesome God. Daddy, we love you. We adore you. We worship you. Daddy, we honor you. Yeah, though we might walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we don't fear no evil. Because if Daddy is with us, who can be against us? Oh God, 1,000 might come at thy side, 10,000 at thy right hand, but none shall not come nigh thee. Only with that eye shall we look and see the rewards of the wicked. Me say me I go soon fall in the name of Jesus. While me arise, una fall. So don't fight against me. Just join me. Why are you going to join me? Because we serve the same King, the same Master, and we're going down the same avenue. Oh my God. We serve the same King, the same Master, and we're going down the same avenue in the name of Jesus. So guess what happened right now? We want to do a little something like this.
Powered by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. We are the tempo, you are the voice, we are your song, you are our God, we are your people, you are the light, we stand in awe, we stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Not by might, not by power.
Sister Katrina, how you doing? Sister Beverly, how you doing?
Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, out of the darkness, into your love, into your light. come to us, we come alive. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Come and breathe on us.
Come on, people of God. How you doing? 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 Call your friend and tell your friend now. Brother Bungie is all over your radio.
Come and breathe on us. Spirit, breathe. We need you to breathe on us. Come and breathe on us. Spirit, breathe. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you.
Come on, 954-707-6922. 954-707-6922. Oh my God, my God, my God, you're worthy, you're worthy, you're worthy, you're worthy.
We stand in